Welcome family to today's deep dive into the wild west of meme coins. Y'all see people making 100x gains back to back to back this cycle, and it's only getting crazier. With Solana ETFs approved and overall sentiments of the market, meme coins is only getting more hot. Now, the market trend is heavily changing. The way we made money trenching a few months ago has nothing to do with today's trenching. I used to print off of scanning new pairs a few $1,000s a day. Now, I size into bottom charts of $5 to $10 million market runners and outperform 95% of people gambling all day on new pairs. There's a lot that goes into this, but today I'll go over technical analysis. A lot of people shy away from technical analysis on meme coins, especially when they are just too fresh, too volatile, or prone to rugs. And that's true. It's stupid to be marking up 20K market cap shitters. You're gonna look dumb. But here's the truth. When it comes to higher market cap memes with strong volume and established communities, technical analysis can be an absolute game changer. This has helped me nail entries and exits, resulting in multiple six figures made on meme coins alone. In this video, I'm breaking down a full top-down analysis covering support and resistance, risk to reward ratios, accumulation zones, exit liquidity areas, Fibonacci levels, order blocks, and much more. So whether you're a seasoned trader or just dipping your toes into the meme coin market, stick around to learn how to navigate these charts like a professional. Let's dive in.
All right, guys, first things first, setting up trading on meme coins, you want to make sure you're using the fastest platform, best features, fastest updates, most updates. The space has grown so much in the past year alone. You want to make sure you're trading on a platform that is going to give you that edge. Now, the fastest platform that I've seen and that I've experienced, the best one is going to be Axiom Pro. I'm going to leave you guys a link in the description. It's going to give you the most discount on fees, as I am a partner with them now, and it's going to give you just the plain out best results trading. I've done an entire A through Z course on maneuvering and navigating around Axiom Pro, best settings, everything like that. So for the sake of this video, we're going to cut straight to the chase into memes, but go ahead and sign up with the link in the description so that you get the highest discount on fees, and also you'll automatically get double the rewards on our link. So go ahead, use the code RAGE to start up. Make sure it says RAGE when you're starting up, and you will qualify for that. Now, in this video, I want you guys to understand, we execute trades on bots on platforms like Axiom Pro. I do a lot of charting on Axiom Pro, but this style of buying into charts that reached millions and bottomed out and finding those growing communities, those growing amount of holders, those solid floors is always going to give you the maximum return on investment. Now, what most people are teaching is, and I've taught this, right? This style of trenching has worked for the past few months, but it is changing fast. The best way, and the way that I'm finding to make the most money in trades, is kind of going back into the roots. Now, I've even showed you guys the style of trenching only on migrated because it gets way too risky on new pairs and final stretch, but I'm gonna take it a little bit of a step further today, right? Because Axiom is only gonna show you, or any platform, Axiom, Padre, Nova, whatever you guys are using, but Axiom is gonna show you what's been running in the past 24 hours only. It's hard for a trade to really run up and reach escape velocity in the first 24 hours. It's always going to dump 80-90% after the first 24 hours or within the first 24 hours before it has that real run up. Top traders, insiders, bundlers, teams, things going wrong is always going to happen. Any project always has initial hype phase, euphoria phase, then people drift off, right? I actually even pulled up the psychology of a market cycle. In the beginning of any token, it's the initial hype of euphoria, and then bundles clear out, top traders start selling, top holders start selling, and you'll see the top traders on the chart. And then what happens is a lot of you guys are just getting EL'd, right? Your exit liquidity for a lot of these traders. What's happened in the past year with on-chain trading with Solana is that it's gotten so saturated. This idea of streaming and trading on stream. This ideas of wallet tracking, devs, bundles, technology, like it's grown so fast that now is just a huge skill gap. If you're coming into memes now, you're at a huge disadvantage. And I just want to start there. The likelihood of you coming out on top is very close to none. You're not going to make it unless you understand these things. Now, for the most part, you guys are jumping into trades. You're top blasting. You probably feel like every single trade you enter is top signal because it just goes down only right after every single time. It's like the market's got something against you, but that's not the case. You just don't understand psychology of a market cycle. You don't understand psychology of meme coins and how much it's changed in the past year. And that's probably what your problem is. And this method that I'm going to teach you guys today is going to help you find trades that are bottomed out with way higher risk to reward and way less chances of you getting rugged or, you know, bundles cleared on you or you being the exit liquidity. If you can take this information in, what you'll start to find is you'll be earlier on trades, you'll be able to hold with conviction, and you'll be able to actually realize 5x returns, 10x returns. This whole meta that's gotten popularized of people streaming, doxing their wallets, using you guys as exit liquidity, all these things is kind of bad for the space. I mean, it's good because it's brought a lot of eyes to the space. You guys are probably here, you see people making 20 SOL, 100 SOL a day, 1,000 SOL, like all of these crazy P&Ls, which is real, but you guys are late. I mean, if you're trying to get into memes now, it's again, you're not going to make it if you don't understand patterns, you don't understand metas, you don't understand a lot of things that we go over. And actually, I made a whole A to Z course in depth for free. You guys can join. It's going to be the WAP link in the description, where I go over a lot of these things, metas. I have master classes on YouTube as well that go over these things in depth that can help you understand and catch up a little bit. But more so than that, joining a community is also important. I'm going to shamelessly plug my Rage Pro community as well. Join a community, catch up as fast as possible, you know, share ideas with other people so you can know what's actually alpha, what's a scam, the difference between rugs and not rugs. Like that all should be basic information by now. Now, back to my point is it's popularized now to trade new pairs, scalp markets, in and out of trades. And, you know, this style of trading is not doable if you haven't been scanning 10, 12 hours a day for the past year and understand every narrative, understand every meta and these patterns that reemerge. You got to understand crypto culture. You got to understand these things. Now, it would be counterproductive for you to be new to trading and just jump straight into that. You're going to lose. You're going to get wiped out. You're going to get frustrated. You might have some lucky wins, but you're going to break even, maybe even just wind yourself back down to zero and then want to give up. And you're going to want to quit. So the best thing to do is slow it down and use this style of trading where you can size into trades. You have to be a little bit more patient for these plays to come to you because it's going to be a lot more obvious, and you can trade less and still outperform 99% of the people that are just scanning on Pulse all day, you know, trying to catch the daily runner flavor of the day coins. Again, there's nothing, both sides, like that side is fun, and we do that. We trade live in the trenches a lot in the group, but you got to know the difference. I don't see KOLs or influencers or anybody teach this enough or break this down enough. So that's the reason for this video. Now, I go over metas and crypto culture. Look at my last master class. I'll link it in the video. It's last video that I did where I break down narratives and things of that nature, how to do research. I'll go over it a little bit in this video, but I really want you guys to understand technical analysis. So for the sake of this video, we're going to go and we're going to head over to DEX Screener. Now, DEX Screener is where I like to chart up. This is where you can see coins that aren't just flavor of the day coins. On DEX Screener, you can see any coin that's performing right now that's already migrated, higher market cap coins, and you look at what's trending. And this is how I find a lot of bottom charts or charts with potential that I could keep a watch list of. Now, we're not going to go into filters or anything like that. For the most part, I usually raw dog it and just see what makes sense on any given day. And I just watch it. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm actually watching out for. So, for example, we're going to start with a trade that we actually crushed. I'm already up like 3-4x on it. Oh, you actually see my previous markups on the chart. So this was a coin that I've seen on DEX Screener when it first was trending. It boomed out of nowhere. It got CTO'd. The ticker is bow. And just so you guys can understand narratives just a little bit, this video is not going to be on narratives. Again, I break that down a lot. Actually working on another video soon where I'll break down everything. It's going to be probably the best masterclass you've ever seen on crypto. So go ahead and subscribe as well. But when I seen this, I knew that this was a huge inefficiency, right? Because that's all we do. When you're trading meme coins, you're just a master researcher, do your due diligence on every coin, and you're just trying to spot inefficiencies. You're trying to spot value gaps, right? I seen that this ticker was so underpriced, and I wanted to build a position because when the moment came where it 2, 3, 4, 5x, I wanted to be well positioned. Now, why did I look at Bao and automatically know that there was a huge inefficiency from value versus price, right? Like the value of where it can be versus the price where it is now. That's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to spot $100 million token at 1, 2, 3 mil. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, now what gave me conviction in Bao? All right, so if you look, here's the website, baobaobank.com. I seen that these guys made a beautiful website. I seen the CTO was doing just everything you want to see out of a CTO, community takeover. They had a beautiful website. Okay, you go to their Twitter. They got an original artist on board who's cooking nonstop 24/7. Now, why Bao? Bao is the little brother of Bonk. Okay, the Bonk dog. Now, if you guys don't know, just quick history lesson, most memes are launched on Pump Fund. Pump Fund is the leader in market share for meme coins. There was a time where we only and exclusively strictly stuck to Pump Fund coins, right? And you'll see that on like outdated videos on meme coins and stuff like that. It's only Pump Fund. There was no Bonk Launchpad. There was no, what's the new one? Moonshot, right? Just launched their own launch pad as well, right? There's these launch pads coming out left and right. Now, Bonk is an OG in the space. This is actually the first bot to trade on Solana. Bonk created that on Telegram. It was a Telegram bot to buy Solana meme coins faster than Phantom or anything else, right? Bonk was the one who kind of front ran that whole meta of bots. Like that's what evolved into Axiom. They crawled so Axiom could fly. So them coming back into the space, still building, they've done legendary airdrops, and they just have a whole ecosystem within themselves where I knew attention would be on this Bonk launchpad. Useless right now is at 200 million market cap, and that's a Bonk launched coin. Huge. And Useless, the meme is literally just a useless meme because all of these memes at the end of the day are useless. So I knew with Useless gaining traction, it was at 100 mil when I started building my position here, sub 100 mil actually, but we knew it was going to hit 100 mil. It's definitely going to hit $1, which is $1 billion market cap. And Bao was confirmed on Instagram to be Bonk's little brother, and Bao stands for baby in Chinese. So I just knew the Chinese cabal were going to be all over this. They already had a strong CTO, consistent memes, consistent art, and if you look at the community, 1,000 members active, right? KOLs are shilling daily, and it's a lot more now because we kind of front ran it before it even got this popular, and that's the whole idea. But if you understand narratives and you understand crypto culture, then you can find narratives at huge inefficiencies like that, right? You could find 100 mil runners at $1 mil, $2 mil. And that's why, again, it's important, and I can't stress this enough, that you don't trade alone. You want to trade with a proper group. You could be a part of Telegram groups. There's free groups out there, but you want to actually invest in yourself and join a proper group that knows what they're talking about. You can ask questions and you can speed up as fast as possible because, again, the skill gap is only getting bigger, and there is going to come a time where, you know, people coming into the space literally won't be able to be profitable because so much is changing so fast. We got monitors now. You used to be able to buy a token and just print money. These days, it's like you got all these different monitors, Twitter monitors, wallet tracking, like, you know, devs have all these technology. They can bundle coins without being detected. It's just a lot happening where if you're not on point and locked in every single day, you're just not going to make it. So join a community, don't trade alone, because these narratives and crypto culture is important and it's a lot to catch up on. Okay. So once I understood that this was a strong narrative and it ran up to, you know, 4 mil, close to 5 mil on the first run up, I didn't top blast and try to get into the trade up here, because what's going to happen is top holders start clearing out. Maybe they had a team of marketing bundles, stuff of that nature, right? Distribution is going to look a lot more healthier after it already bottoms out. So I wanted to find a floor. So what I want to do is I want to break down kind of what I have here, and then I'm going to clear it and show you fresh from scratch. The first thing that you want to do is support and resistance zone. Now, the reason why most people shit on people who try to do any type of technical analysis, specifically with meme coins, is because you need data in order to trade technicals. So if you're trading on a coin that's not even an hour old, a 20 market cap shitter, you look foolish. You are foolish because there's not enough data for that technical analysis to even hold up. You understand? There needs to be consistent data. A lot of data. The more data, the better, right? The older a coin, the better. The more it's been holding up, the more floors held and things of that nature, the more accurate the technical analysis is going to be, which is why I wait for coins to hit millions of market cap and find bottoms, because that's where technical analysis actually makes sense, because there's data. Now, how do you know if a coin has enough data? Well, if you look here on a chart like this, I can go to the daily chart and you see some price action, right? I go to 4-hour chart, you see some price action, because the higher you go on a chart, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, the more accurate the technical analysis will be. Okay, so understanding different time zones in trading, right, can make a huge difference, because on a coin on new pairs, it's 15 minutes old. On final stretch, even migrated, these coins are 15, 20 minute old, an hour. Even the first 24 hours, you don't even have data for 4-hour top-down analysis. So it's not going to be as strong. Then this is why people shit on technical analysis when meme coin traders try to do technical analysis, because it's memes at the end of the day. The number one catalyst is always going to be understanding the narrative, understanding what the next catalyst may be, and things of that nature, where attention is. It's always going to be number one in meme coins. It's highly speculative. It's not like Forex, where it's a $7 trillion a day market, $8 trillion a day market, and you can trade strictly technicals without even knowing the fundamentals. Meme coins is different in that aspect. You have to know crypto culture, you have to know narratives, you have to know future catalysts. Very important. But technical analysis does come clutch when you understand it. Bottom charts on communities that's formed, and floors that are holding up. So with all of that being said, you can see here, I think I marked this up on the 1-hour chart. Support and resistance. Now, what is support and resistance? I put a little support level, a little order block level here with this blue area, and I'll break all of this down. But you see a resistance level here, turn support here. You see another one here, support, became resistance here. And you see another line here. This is strong resistance, which recently broke out, became support, okay? And then it pushed past previous highs. Now we're in price discovery. Now, let's break this down from the beginning, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and clear all drawings. Now, if you look here on the 1-hour chart, I'm gonna start with a top-down analysis. Now, usually for top-down analysis, you wanna go on the highest time frame that you can see enough data. Here on the daily, there's really not too much, so I'm not even gonna start there. But 4-hour is a really strong time frame to start on, okay? 4-hour and an hour, and then 15 minutes, 5 minutes is where you start to really dial in on entries, because it's a lot more noisy there, but you get closer to where the price action really is. So on the 4-hour, I'll go ahead and I'll click a horizontal line, and I'm looking for support and resistance. Now, what is support and resistance? Support is the floor, resistance is the ceiling. That's all it is. Support is a floor that gets respected. Every time it touches that floor, it goes back up. And resistance is the ceiling. Every time it hits that ceiling, it goes back down. So if I go here, I'm gonna create a floor here. Now, why did I pick that floor? Well, you wanna see the area where it touches the support line the most, okay? You can see here, wick touch. Wicks are, those little lines after the candle. You see it touched here, touch. And if I go down on like a 5 minute or 15 minute, you see it's touching a lot more because there's more data. Touch. It's really getting respected in these areas. But on the 4-hour is just a stronger analysis, okay? It's a stronger floor anyway. The higher you make these, the more stronger support and resistance. Support and resistance will get way less respect on a smaller time frame. So this is why we go on the higher time frames first, and why it makes sense to do technical analysis with charts that have enough data. It got respected a bunch of times. Now, where's a strong area of resistance? Okay, you got it right here. Okay, that's a strong area of resistance. Now, I would actually even put another one up here. Okay, because you see it touched here, it touched here, it touched here, it touched here. bring it down just a little bit. The most touches that you can get, the better. So you see I got this touch, I got this touch, this touch, this touch, this touch, this touch. So that's a strong area of support and resistance. Now I want to show you guys something else. If I go down to the 1 hour, I can actually refine it just a little bit. You see this resistance here? I'll actually bring it up just a little bit, touch on those actual zones. Here it's pretty good, and here it's pretty perfect, right? You see it touched here. Look at this, resistance, and it finally broke out. Now when I get to these lower time frames, I can find a little bit more. So let's go down to the 15 minute. Okay, on the 15 minute, you see this level clear as day. Look at this. Look at how many times it touched this area and respected it. There's a strong area of support and resistance. Now this one, since it's a weaker one, 15 minute is going to be a lot weaker than 4 hour. I'll just go ahead and change the color just so we could differentiate. This is a weaker level of support and resistance than the 4 hour. So you see, these are levels of support and resistance. And now what I want you guys to notice is what happens when support and resistance doesn't get respected. We finally found a floor over here at 1.63 market cap. We finally found this floor and it's getting respected. Bounced, bounced, bounced. Then it came up and resisted in this area. Okay, now this resistance was also previous support. Would you look at that? So when it came down and broke support, right, it broke through support, this became a resistance barrier, right? So it came to the floor, came up, bounced, it got close to resistance, rejected, came down, and it bounced all the way up to resistance again, came down, close to support. This is what we call a channel sideways movement, accumulation zone. What's happening here is that this is a floor where people are starting to figure out there's potential here. There's something happening here because it didn't go to zero. People are holding. At this point, people are starting to realize what they hold. Okay, so this is an important area. So you want to pay attention to these bounces, to these floors. This is accumulation. This is an exchange from top holders to new holders, to people who don't believe, to people who believe. Okay, and they're going to hold. They know what they have. All right. Now, what happens here is it touched this floor, rejected, came back down, and then it finally broke through. And then you see here, it hit this resistance again, right? Which was previous resistance in these levels. Okay, so this is gonna be something that you see over and over and over. The better you understand this, the better you understand risk to reward, the better you understand entries, exits, things of this nature. So you see it reject from this resistance, and it held the new floor, right? This resistance, this yellow resistance here, is now the floor. Sideways movement, and then it broke the floor again. Now, it broke the floor again, respected the previous support, came up, and then it broke down a little bit more. And then you can see here, I'll put another area of support. And you see, look, previously here, it respected this area of support. And we didn't see this on the 4 hour, but on the 15 minute, it's there. Over here, it respected this area of support. Again, you want to make sure you have it where it has the most touches, okay? And it kind of almost broke through. And I remember when this happened, this was a FUD. This right here, this wave down was called a FUD news event, right? FUD news event. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt, okay? There was news that came out that Bonk, the official company, wasn't supporting or wasn't affiliated with the Bao token. They put out an official statement saying that they weren't affiliated with the Bao token. Now, a lot of people got shaken out. Me, I bought more. Why? Because this was already a CTO. It was a known community takeover. Nobody ever said it was an official token. Most tokens have nothing to do with the real IP of anything, right? You can see Hello Kitty at $10 million market cap. It's just a tokenized community takeover. It's not affiliated. Hello Kitty didn't actually make a token that's going to have any use. It's a meme coin. Family, it's a meme coin. So you got to understand these things. So if people got shaken out, that was on them. But the people who knew what they had, look here, this is another accumulation zone. Okay, this whole area actually is accumulation zone, but you see it more specifically here. Okay, in our private group, Rage Pro, we've been calling this, in our inner circle as well. We call legendary snipes on this token, where we just kept bidding the dips. Right, we knew it was gonna have his day. What happens next? It breaks through resistance to previous resistance, right? Comes back down, tests support, breaks through. Okay. Previous resistance, and all of this now on a bigger time frame, we go on an hour chart, right? Because this isn't microwave results. This is buying with conviction, being able to sleep on your bag, and just knowing what you hold. You can see accumulation zone, and it held support, right? So even if you bought here at the previous floor, you just got to know what you hold. All right, we come in here in this area and we break through a lot of resistance. This price action alone should show you that there's momentum. It's creating higher highs. And then what happens after every higher high? The market has to breathe. It's going to create a higher low. Okay, it's going to breathe. The market doesn't go up only, right? People are going to sell their bags. People that held down from the bottom, they're going to sell their bags. If you know what you hold and you have price targets and you know the real inefficiency here, you're going to hold, or if anything, you'll buy more. Even in this area at 163, I saw that this was a previous area of support and it had enough momentum where I just knew it was going to hold this level and take off. Now, let's do a little Fibonacci lesson here. Fibonacci also better on higher time frames. You go from swing low to swing high, which is right here. Okay, I'm just bringing it over here so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Let me reset the chart view. I'm trying to get a little bit closer in here so you guys can see what's going on. Now it's a lot of lines. I know it's a lot of lines, but bear with me here, okay? So you can see the 78 level is like a golden level with memes. 61.8 is actually the golden level in fibs, but with meme coins, 0.786 retraces are very strong because meme coins are a lot more volatile than traditional markets. So you don't want to get in, on a 38.2 or 50% retrace, even 61. I like to go in on deep retraces, right? Because deep retraces mean what? Deep discounts, right? You want to get in on a discount. So if price from swing low, okay, which was 800K, to swing high, which is 3 mil, right, on the wick, okay, because you go from wick to wick. You could go from body to body, but in this scenario, we're going to teach wick to wick. You see that we had a deep retrace of 0.78, right? 78% is crazy discounts on this coin. You were wishing for these prices at 4 million. Now it's at, 1.5 and you're scared. Now, what we look for in any chart, in any price action is confluence. Okay, family? Confluence is when more than one indicator lines up or comes together for conviction, for a indication. So with confluence, you just have another indication for a buy or a sell. In this case, you see it hit 78.6. It's holding up at a key level of support, right, on the 4 hour. So this is stronger support. This is where people are going to be buying. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take off the fibs just so it's a little bit more clear, but that's another confirmation for the buy, right? 0.78 on fibs, a strong level of support. Bro, we started buying because the narrative still stuck. They're still building every single day. It's still growing. You're seeing more KOLs talk about it. It's getting more popularized. It's obvious. There's a huge inefficiency. Okay, so you see that here, right? We ended up bidding more, and from there, already up 3-4x. Okay, family? So that is what technical analysis is. That's support and resistance. That is accumulation zones. That is Fibonacci. So another thing and last thing that I'll go over is you can see another pattern here, which is called a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, a reverse head and shoulders pattern. Actually, over here you see one shoulder, you see another shoulder. This is the head, shoulders. When we was around here at this level, we saw a reverse head and shoulders. Now, usually with a head and shoulders, what you want to see here is the trend line where the head and shoulders is, this right here, which is also an area of resistance, get broken. That's usually what happens on a head and shoulders. This is a reverse head and shoulders, but that was another confirmation that this thing was going to go. So that's an idea of technical analysis. That's how you look for bottom charts, right? You're looking for areas of support. Usually a coin is going to go all the way down from the top, that 78 level, right? That 78 fibs level, or even 80-90% before it really builds a real community and goes somewhere. And when you play it this way, you're not getting rugged. You're buying into coins that people actually believe in, and you're maximizing your returns by being patient for those levels to hit. and having conviction to hold, right? You have to know what you hold. And that's where, again, sometimes being in a community, being around people who understand narratives and catalysts and things like that can help, right? Until you learn yourself. But locking in every single day, scanning on DEX Screener and doing these things will build your skill level, and you will start to see these patterns for yourself over and over and over again. It just takes time, you know? So that's a full technical breakdown on, you know, a higher time frame, bottomed out chart. Those are the things you want to look for. I'll show you guys a little bit more in the next video. Thank you guys for hopping on that technical analysis. I'll see you guys in Rage Pro or in the next video. Peace out, fam.